It appears that the progressives have taken the infrastructure bill as a hostage, and they're willing to kill it in order. And I mean, the reality is it's a terrible bill with very little infrastructure, but they're taking the position that we're not going to allow the moderates to have that unless we get something more specific.
An embarrassment for the Democrats. There's no getting around that, right? They were raising expectations at the leadership level. We heard the president making a direct appeal. There was talk about a vote today, giving him a victory in hand as soon as he lands in Europe. And that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen tomorrow, it sounds like. Maybe it will happen next week. And one piece of this, Brett, it's all a Democrat show. They run Washington, D.C. right now. The one thing that might help Nancy Pelosi in the coming days is a handful of Republicans in the House who want to vote for the bipartisan infrastructure bill. I think that conservatives across the country would urge those Republicans, even if on the merits you support the infrastructure bill, it has been linked inextricably by the Democratic leadership to this monstrosity, the Build Back Better plan, and to throw a lifeline to the Democrats when they clearly still don't have the votes within their own caucus, I think would be a massive miscalculation. But it was another rough, ugly day for the Democrats in Washington.
Yeah, the House just voted to pass that interim till December 3rd for the highway programs, as expected, but obviously no big vote, Leslie. What about what Guy just said there, the linkage of those two bills, and the progressives who said we are not voting until we see the text, until we know that it's going to pass, until we know that Senators Manchin and Sinema are not going to block some elements of it? That linkage caused the vote on the infrastructure bill to fall apart.
Listen, I have said from the beginning, you just can't have all of this. You need to have this separate. Infrastructure, that's a bipartisan win for the president, win for the country, win for our abysmal infrastructure system when you have so many Republicans saying we're on board with this. You know, I'm a centrist, I'm a moderate Democrat, you guys all know that. And, you know, I kind of feel like, you know, the progressive faction is holding the party hostage, especially when a lot of their demands or requests have been met. You heard Speaker Pelosi say, and you said rightly as well, Brett, they wanted to know the text. They've got the text. They wanted to have these two together. They have these two together. They wanted to have climate change. They got climate change. I think really who's leading the march on this is Bernie Sanders, because he doesn't like what's happening with the lowering of prescription drug prices. And, you know, you just can't have. President Biden is accurate. I think we all know that when you're in a meeting and you're in a negotiation, everybody walks away from the table getting something they want, but everybody also walks away leaving something on the table. And I just don't think the progressives realize this.